Hello, I should like to show you how the senior non-credit students in Concordia University can select, search, select and register for courses. My name is Eddie. I'm a volunteer with the seniors program here, and we start in the Concordia web page. So in your browser you would enter up on top left, you'll see concordia.ca, simple address, very simple, and press the enter key. And this is what you'll see. I'm already in this web page, as I've said. In this web page I'd like to point out there's some very interesting utilities, and among them is the library. So you could electronically visit the library, search for and request books. There's another useful utility. Under quick links you can find our bookstore, and you can see whether or not there's books which have been reserved for a particular course. Now we'll start our tour by going to the student the student hub. This is a newly designed web page. It's still under the process of building, and so if we click here, Student Hub, we'll see what goodies we have. Well, if we scroll down the web page, we'll find four, well, I'll call them tabs. These tabs usually at the top of the web page. There's two here that you'll see and two underneath. Don't think we'll probably go to those two underneath, but the top two are quite useful. One goes to Moodle, useful for courses, as you know, and the other one is used for registration. Each has a very brief description of what you can expect. So I'm going to click for registrations here, and I'm going to scroll down. There's a link here for the Student Centre, but that may not persist for a very long time. As I say, this is under design, so this may disappear. So I'm going to go underneath and click on Academic, and there's a whole bunch of choices here. Add drop courses, and there's a course search you see here, and so I'm going to click on the course search, and I shall be requested for my username and the password. The username, net name, as Concordia usually calls these, usually starts with the first letter of your given name, followed by an underscore, and the first bunch of letters from your family name. So I'm going to sign in and start on the search. I shall have to first of all select the term of interest, and this is the one I'm going to choose. And the course career, as always, is always undergraduate in our case. I'm not going to fill in the subject nor the class course number, but I will choose the level. The 200 level classes are the ones which are easier to register for, since they don't have prerequisites typically. And so I'm going to look for the departmental faculties, because this way we can see all of the courses which are being offered in the chosen term. Starting up on top, you'll see with Fine Arts. Scrolling downwards we get to John Molson School of Business. Scrolling further down, not too quickly though, Faculty of Arts and Science, which many of our students choose. There's a lot of them in alphabetical order, you'll see, biology, classics and so on and so forth. The one I'm interested in is Geography Department, as it's called Geography Planning and Environment now. So I'm going to click on that choice. See, it comes up here. This is the department. And scrolling down right to the bottom of the page, I'll do a search for all of its courses. those that are being offered in this term. Now there's probably a large number of them, and each of these is preceded with these little symbols: green check mark if they're open, red cross if they are filled, no seats available there, and lastly a waitlisted class which is full but there's a waiting list for that class. It looks like a little clock, orange clock for me. So the first one is filled, notice the red cross. Second one looks good, there's a green check mark here, and it's the Geography of Global Change. Well, that's a fairly explicit title. We can guess what this is all about, but before we click the select class button, it will be useful to find out a few more details about this particular course. I'm going to click the link in the section column, and we'll find some details here of interest. Not especially interested up on top, but here we've seen this before. Tuesdays and Thursdays, H937 is the room, and the dates being the course dates. Yeah. But this is a big class, isn't it? Capacity 200. There's 138 people enrolled. Take one from the other means there's 62 available seats, so there's a good chance of getting into this class. Scrolling further down, there's a description, not a very detailed description, but it's something which you can read, and this will be encouraging for us to choose this course. Enrollment status, textbooks to be determined. There's not usually, it is better to go to the bookstore to find out if there's a textbook for the course. Okay, so we'll select this class, searched, now we select it, and we should be told shortly, make sure this is okay, it's going to go into our course card. Before we do that, I'd like to point out this wait list if the class is full. This is a useful thing to do. I'd always make a point of doing this. Put a check mark there, and then come down and go to the next page, which will tell us that yes, indeed, this has been added to the course cart. So that's good. Now, as for enrolling, let's go back to the Student Centre and look at our course cart. Coming up shortly. Yes, we scroll down and see, take no notice of these, the courses I'm doing in this term, but the enrolment course cart here. And we can choose which one we want to see. This is in the winter term here, so I'm putting a check mark. Should see the contents of this course cart here. There's 5 courses there. There's the one which I've just added, the Geography 210. It's a good idea to put a whole bunch of courses here of interest in case you don't get your most favoured class. You can go to others. Now underneath I might point out the 3 buttons. Obviously delete, you know what that's going to do. Validate is to make sure one class doesn't overlap the times of another class. And finally to enroll, which pretty well speaks for itself, but we have to choose which one we want to enroll in, and this is the geography class here, Geog 210. So I'm going to put a check mark alongside here and click enroll. Should be good because there are a lot of places available. Before we finish enrolling down here, you might take a note of the details of this course. You want to know when to turn up, Tuesday, Thursdays, and the date, and where to go, H937. That looks good. Okay, so take a note, as I say, of this and finish enrolling. And we should be, yes, there it is, a success. Good. Okay, so this is the end of our trip, and I think we'll finish here and finish by my wishing you well for your registration and my best wishes to you. Bye bye.